Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Waldhart. You are joining me with Amanda's Inspiration Station, and this is my weekly Wednesday, so I'm super excited about it. Every Wednesday, I do a project. Well, I shouldn't say that. I take one stamp set and I usually do two projects with it, and I show you different ways to use it. And then I post it to amandasinspirationstation.com, which is my blog. I also have it on my YouTube channel. I post it to my Pinterest, my Facebook page, you name it. Any social media platform that I have, I post it. So whether you are watching this from any of those platforms, I really appreciate it. So thank you. Today, I am going to show you a couple projects. We are going to use the Game On stamp set. I think this is so cute. I'm a huge card player. My husband and I constantly play 500 Rummy. I don't know if you play that game too, but we even have our daughter, our oldest daughter, Greenlee, who will be 14 in like a week and a half. She plays that all the time with us. But we also are huge euchre players, so we do play euchre a lot. From what I understand, it's kind of, and I could totally be wrong with this, but it's kind of a Midwest thing. I'm not really sure, but I've been told that. I don't know if that's true or not. But I love euchre. I mean, we've even had friends over and done like euchre tournaments and stuff. So total fun. So when I saw this, I'm like, I have to have this. Gotta have it. So we're gonna do two cards with that, but we're also going to use the Buffalo Check, which love this stamp set. I mean, this is just the greatest background stamp set ever. So I'm gonna show you the two cards that we're gonna do today. The first one is this one. And it just says, hope your day is filled with fun and games. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but I did use, oh, there we go. I did use the Wink of Stella on the chest pieces. I know they're not normally glittery, but I love glitter. We have to glitter them up. And then the second one is this stamp set right here. And I did, which you can kind of see from the side here, I have this pop dotted up with dimensionals. But we stamp two of them and we pop it up even again so that you can have the two colors, because a deck of cards is red and black. But I have a special. So normally I just do two projects. And if you spend $35 or more with me at amandasinspirationstation.com, you can just click on Shop Now. It'll take you straight to my website. If you spend $35 or more, you will get these two make and takes sent to your home. You will also get a printable colored copy, full tutorial on these sent through your email. That's completely printable. But today I have two bonus projects with this stamp set. So this is going to be just a week-long thing. So if you spend a $35 with me by now until next Tuesday, which you'll have till midnight, so Tuesday, August 25th, I had to look up at my calendar. Sorry, I probably looked weird looking up at that, but I have a calendar up there. Then you will not only get these two as a make and take, but you'll also get this card as a make and take, which I love this card. And you will learn how to make this box, which inside this box, come on now, is a deck of cards. I'm like throwing things. All right, so let me get out the deck of cards. Is a deck of cards. Now you won't get a deck of cards sent to you. Unfortunately, you'll have to buy your own deck of cards because that would be a little too thick for the mail. But it does go right in this box just like this. And again, this will be a full tutorial. So it goes like this, tabs, tabs. And this doesn't tuck in here, it tucks behind here. This was actually a little trick from another demonstrator. And I'm gonna give her a shout out because it was such a cool project. I bought a deck of cards and I'm like, what, I gotta do something with it. And then she did it. And she did this box and I loved it. And I am gonna give her a shout out. Her name is Marissa Alvarez, I think that's how you say it. She is part of the kitchen table stamper, I believe. but she has a box that is like that I got the box from. So the rest is mine, but the box is hers, and I want to give her a shout out because it is just fabulous. So with Stampin' Up, we inspire, we create, and we share, and I want to give her that shout out. So these are 2 extra bonus like make and takes that you will get. So you will get these 2, plus you will get these 2 with a $35 purchase. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn down the camera now. I am not tech savvy, so it'll be, I'll edit it. And we're going to go ahead and make those 2 cards. Okay, I'm back again. This is Amanda Waldhart, and you are here with Amanda's Inspiration Station. So these are the 2 bonus cards. These are not what we are going to make today, though. These would be strictly, you'll get the product for this, and you'll get the tutorials on making this along with the 2 that we are going to make today, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the chest one, because that one we are going to use the buffalo check background, and I want to show you a little trick with this. I don't know if many of you do it like that. I do have all the pieces already cut out for us. So you're going to need basic black that measures at 5.5 by 8.5, and you score it at 4 1/4. Okay. The next size is the cherry cobbler, and that is a 4 by 5 1/4. That is going to be the second layer that we have here. Okay. Now, you also will have a Whisper white piece that's the same size as this, the 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to go on in the inside of your card, and we're going to attach that to the inside of our card shortly. That's so that you can write in it, because otherwise you'd have to write with either a white chalk marker or a white gel pen if you didn't do that. Now, the next size piece of paper is this size here, and this size here, I just noticed, that I don't have written down. So this is a 3.5 by 4 3/4. This is the piece of paper that we are going to do the buffalo check on. Okay, so that's what we're going to do the buffalo check on. Now I have this already cut out, and this is from the Bee Stitched dies, and I will show you a little something with that, but we're going to hold off on that. I have a scrap piece of white paper, Whisper white, and then I have this shape, which this comes from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, okay, and that's Whisper white. So right now we're going to start with first our background. Oh, and one more thing, if you decide that you would like all these make and takes with this, and you do the $20 or the $35, please use this hostess code right here. It's it's under amandasinspirationstation.com, and the hostess code is right there on my blog, but it's also right here too. So, and I'll put it in the comments as well. Okay, so let's do a trick here. And I don't know if this is a trick for everyone. Many of you may already know it, but this is the background stamp. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my Memento ink, and I'm going to flip it over like this. Some people will ink this up and then they'll take it and they'll put it down like this. We're not going to do that today. I never liked doing it that way. So I'm going to show you a way that I do it. I am going to ink this up, and I'm mostly going to get in the middle because I'm going to place this piece of paper in the middle. But I do kind of want to make sure it's all over so that if it lands somewhere else. Okay, so I'm just going to really ink this up. And you can tell if you want this to be a dark image, you really need to make these squares dark. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. Now I have this little piece of paper. This is our grid paper from our Stamparatus. You can even use computer paper. You can use any scrap grid paper, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, I have a little nick there. I'm going to lay this down just like that. Okay. I'm going to now take my grid paper. I'm going to lay it on top, and I'm just going to take my fingers to hold it down, but then I'm going to take my other fingers just to kind of go in a circle. Okay. I don't want this piece of paper underneath to slide around, so I do want to make sure that I'm holding it, but at the same time, I want to be able to rub the thing. Now, because I don't want ink all over my fingers, I'm going to take my little tweezers here, and I'm just going to pull it up like this, okay? I'm going to set this aside, and there is our piece of buffalo check background, okay? I do this with all my background stuff. I just find it's easier than to slap it down, and you know, you can't really rub, so when you lift it back up, you don't know if you got everything. I feel that if you hold it in place and you rub it down, then you will get the image that you want, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get out my stamp and seal here, and I'm going to place it on the basic black piece, okay? And then I'm just gonna, this is all flat. I'm not using Stampin' Dimensionals with this right now, so we're just gonna layer it up, and I'm gonna layer it now on the cherry cobbler, and then I'm gonna layer the cherry cobbler onto the actual cardstock, the base of the card. Okay, so it's just 3 layers, 1, 2, 3, okay? Now I do wanna go ahead and I wanna put in my inside, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. There, so now I have the base of my card, okay? Now, I have already used my cut and emboss machine to cut this out. Now, when you cut this out, and I am going to show you the image really quickly. So here is the Be Mine stitched, and this is the one that I use. When you cut this out, you're going to get lots of little hearts. I have this old Stampin' Up little container here, and I just used my label maker to put Be Mine stitched hearts, and I keep them in here because I save these hearts, okay? You never know when you need them. And we are actually going to use 2 of the hearts on this card, but on these projects, you use a heart here and a heart here, okay? So we are going to use those. So let's go ahead and stamp this image first. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do the chest pieces. And again, I'm going to flip this over because I really want a black image, and I want to make sure that I'm going to get that. Now, this is where it's darker in some areas and lighter in other areas, so that's okay as long as the areas that it's a distinct stamp, so as long as the areas are darker where I need it to be darker, that's perfect. And we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the image. Okay, set that aside. Now, before I start using the Wink of Stella over it, I'm going to let it dry for a minute. So I'm going to pull out this little scrap piece of paper here. I'm going to get out my Cherry Cobbler ink pad, and I'm going to get the Hope Your Day is All Fun and Games, and I'm just going to stamp that image. There we go. Now, one thing about this is that the reason why I'm having you do a scrap piece of paper is because I literally am just going to fussy cut around it. I want to get as close as I possibly can, and I'm just going to do a rectangle, okay? So I'm just going to do it like this and do it like that, okay? We're going to get these scraps out of the way so that way it's a piece like this, okay? I'm going to put some dimensionals down behind that though, and I'm going to use the mini ones for this one because it's little. Now, we want to go ahead and we want to get our Wink of Stella out. I love Wink of Stella. I honestly think if Stampin' Up ever got rid of it, I would cry. Literally. Because I feel sometimes things just need a little extra oomph, and glitter is my oomph. I love glitter. I don't like wearing glitter all the time, obviously. I don't like paper, then cutting glitter paper and having glitter all over me for days, or in my hair, or places we won't talk about, but I do like glitter, which our new glitter paper, you can sit and rub it down and there's no glitter everywhere, so it's perfect. All right, so I have that. I'm going to let it dry for just a second. I'm going to grab my regular dimensionals because I just realized I don't have any out here. I'm going to open a new pack here because I need some. All right, so I have some new dimensionals. All right, so for this, I literally, now you can use your fine tip glue pen to apply this on. I don't. I'm going to literally just kind of get a little tiny bit of this on there, just a little bit in the center. And I'm just going to place it like that, okay? It'll stick. Plus, I'm going to be placing this over top, so it'll stay. It'll lock itself in place. So I'm going to put some dimensionals here on the back. Peel those off. We're going to go ahead and place that down below here, overlapping the hearts. All right. And now we're going to take our little seine, take the dimensionals off that, and I'm just going to place that over like that. There. You have a cute card. Okay. That wasn't so hard. I like it. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. So for the next one, we're going to do a couple different fun little things with this one. Okay, so I have my card base, same as last time, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces of Whisper White, one's for the inside, one's for the second layer here. These are both 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place actually both them on. So we're going to place one in the center here so that you can write, and one on the outside. All right. All right. Now I have 2 pieces of paper here. I have designer series paper here. This comes from our neutral collection. It's in the 6 by 6s, and this measures at 2 by 5 1/4. Now we want 5 1/4 because we want it to match this Whisper White piece. Same with this. This is also a 5 1/4, but this is only a 3/4 inch. So I'm going to lay this cherry cobbler piece down first, leaving myself a little bit of a white edge so that you can still see the white there. Okay. So you've got the Night of Navy base, you got the little bit of the white, and then the cherry cobbler. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place now this. I love these 6 by 6 packs that we have that, you know, they come in neutral, brights, regals, and subtles. And I know I talk about them all the time. And I talk about them because I love them. I use them all the time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out my little thing, because before, when we did this card and I cut these out, I have all these like cherry cobbler little hearts. Okay, so we're going to get some hearts out here. And here's one. And I need another big one. So let me find another big one here. And there's 2. Okay, now we are going to need, if you want to pop them up, I pop them up. So you'll need the mini glue dots. And if you don't have the mini glue dots, you can always cut these really small. You can cut them in half. I mean, I use every little piece of this, every nick and cranny of this. So once all the dimensionals are gone, there leaves like an outer edge. I use all of that. I do not waste it. Okay, so we're just going to lay a couple little hearts down here. So out of curiosity, for all those who are card players, what's your favorite suit? My favorite suit is not hearts, even though I find I win a lot playing that, but mine are spades. I definitely am a spades girl. Okay, so now we need to actually do the cards. Hello, cards. So we're going to stamp the cards twice, okay? Once we're going to do it in black and once we're going to do it in red. Now this time, I know we're working with the cherry cobbler, but we're not going to stamp this in the cherry cobbler. We are going to stamp it in the real red because a deck of cards is a brighter red. And so that's what I did. So I'm going to use the real red and I'm just going to stamp. Now I'm going to clean off this stamp here to get that off. and I'm going to just kind of stamp off here. Yeah, I feel like my cleaning pad is gross. Time to get out that Dawn dish soap and wash them up. All right. There we go. All right, so now that I have the red, we got to do one in the black. Again, I'm just pulling out my Memento, and I'm just going to dab, 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 and I'm going to stamp that, okay? Now, I am going to fussy cut around this. There are no dies for this, but this is a easy, this is not a hard thing to cut out. So you're just gonna take your scissors, turn, 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 turn. I try to do it all where I'm not stopping, but that doesn't always work. So, all right, so there's one. And now we have to do the same thing for this one, okay? So we're just gonna kind of, now with this one, we really don't need to do the whole thing. I just wanna use the first 2 cards of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut over it and just cut out the king, because we don't need the other. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that. We are going to place the king and the ace over top of this king and ace, so it looks like you're actually holding a mixture of cards. So I am gonna use my dimensionals to do that. And we're just gonna place it over there. It's just giving it an extra little pop, okay? We're gonna flip this over because we're gonna put dimensionals on this whole thing because I want it to be popped up, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to pop that up, and I'm just gonna place it kind of over it like that, okay? Now we have this scrap piece of paper again, because we're going to do the lucky me because I have you. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. Again, I am just fussy cutting around this. This is, you can do this on any scrap piece of paper. I'm literally just going around it like this. This is not a specific size, and I'm just going like this, okay? I'm gonna trim off a little bit of the bottom there because, there we go. All right, I'm going to get out my dimensionals again because I want to pop that up. And got my glasses here filled with dimensionals. All right, so let's brush that off to the side there so we're not seeing all my garbage. All right, and now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to place this over like this, okay? So we're just going to place it over like that. There. All right, so we have this card as the make and take. That didn't take too long, did it? Granted, like with this one, I did the die cutting ahead of time, but not too long. Those are, so you'll get these 2 make and takes, plus you'll get these bonus ones, remember. These are a great gift. Like, I know with COVID, things are so different, but you know, if you have a family or a couple friends that you like to get together with, another couple, and play cards, you know, this is cute. This is a cute idea to give them this, and then maybe with the matching card, give them a little gift card for their birthday if you know that they love to play cards. What a cute little birthday gift. So, or any gift. Maybe it's just a thinking of you gift, or maybe this is something you want to drop off at your friend's porch and with a little note that says, when COVID's over, let's get together and play cards. You know, it's just something that means a lot. It's just the gesture. So you will get a full tutorial on all 4 of these projects. You will also get these as make and takes minus the stamp set. There will be no stamping. So that would be something that if you didn't have, you'd maybe want to place that as your order. But yes, and you won't get the deck of cards. You'll have to buy your own deck of cards, which you can buy at any local grocery store, Target, Walmart, you name it. Okay. So I hope you like this week's Weekly Wednesday projects. I know that I love this stamp set. And I will see you next week for our Weekly Wednesday. Thank you so much for visiting me at Amanda's Inspiration Station. Have a great day.